This is fabulous. Thank you so much. You didn't hear from Michael Medved. Quite a guy, huh? Thank you for your help. Congresswoman, thank you for your help. Did you get a chance to hear from the Congresswoman? Yeah, good. And this guy over here, his name is the Nerd. You probably didn't get to hear from the Nerd. Did you speak this morning? He and I are old friends. We worked together years ago. We worked in Marshalltown, Iowa. He went to England. We worked together there. He's a great friend. I'll tell you, one of the things that I look for as I get to know people is who they hang around with. And if you see people that they've worked with over the years that still like them, that's a pretty good sign. But the best sign I have for my candidacy is that my wife of 42 years is still with me. That's the best thing I can do. The next best is that I have 5 sons. And they're out campaigning for me. That's something else, I'll tell you that. And then all my friends like David Nierenberg, I call him the Nerd. It's David Nierenberg is his real name. He's a Democrat underneath those Republican clothes, but he's out there working for me and helping me, and I appreciate his support. And you heard me from the other room, right? Well, that's a cure for insomnia, all right? But just a couple things I'd add. I've had so much fun over these last several months going across the country. And you know, most of what you know about America and what's happening in various states is what you watch on TV. And you see Americans, and by the way, the ones you see are people doing unusual things, usually not very good things. And so you get a sense of something being wrong with the country. Well, that isn't the real picture of America. The real picture you get by doing what I got to do, which is going from state to state and meeting people like you. And you come away more enthusiastic, more optimistic about America, not more skeptical and cynical. The guys that are in the media every day, they just have to follow the people who are doing strange things. I got to follow the people who are doing great things, and I come away more excited about America. I was in Michigan, and I bumped into a guy named Norm Boyce, and this guy didn't get to go to college. He has no degree in engineering. The reason I know that is that I asked him, where did you get your engineering degree? He said, I don't have one. I said, where'd you go to college? He said, I didn't go to college. The reason I was asking him those things is I was in his factory. And then he had over 100 patents on the wall, all right? And he makes all sorts of systems, electrical systems for underfloors and so forth. This guy's brilliant and has many, many people, dozens, scores of people who work for him because of his innovativeness and creativeness. It's just an American phenomenon. And then I met another guy a little later in the day. Bill was his name. He turned out to be an MD. And I thought, well, I guess as a doctor, why he's probably built a business around medicine or medical devices. No, he decided that the malpractice was too overbearing, that the government intrusiveness in medical practice was too troublesome, and so he left the medicine and started making casters. Now you think, what is a caster? It's that little wheel that goes in the bottom of things you push around, you know? He makes big casters that require special engineers to figure out how to make them, for instance, big enough to maybe push a plane around with, all right? That's what he makes. He's a creative caster corporation, and he employs a bunch of people making casters. It's an amazing thing in America. I was in California a while back. I met this woman that lives in this beautiful home out in the middle of one of the most fertile valleys in the entire world. And I asked her what she did to have such a home. She grows carrots. Now that's not particularly creative, but she came up with an interesting idea a while back. And that was to grow little carrots and then spin them in a machine to take off the outside, put them in a little plastic sack, and sell them as little packs of carrots. And the result of what she came up with, we eat about 4 times as many carrots per person in America as we used to. And she processes about 1/4 of all the carrots in the world in her factories. It's just an amazing thing. America is an extraordinary place, and that flows from the fact that when the founders did write the Declaration of Independence and did write the Constitution and imbued in them values that said this would be a land of freedom and opportunity, we then became the place on the planet where every pioneer and every innovator wanted to come. My wife's dad came from Wales. His dad was a coal miner in Wales. They decided to come to America for a better life. When they got here, they found out that to have great opportunity, it was helpful to get an education. But they had 4 kids. They couldn't possibly pay for a college education. So what they did was amazing to me. The kids all came together, and mom and dad. They were all working in various jobs. They said, we're all going to save our money so one of us could go to college. And they picked my wife's dad and said, you're the smartest of the lot. We're going to allow you, we're going to send our money to you so you can go to college. And he went to one of these colleges. It was the General Motors Institute of Technology, where you go for a semester and then you work for a semester. And he then, after that, began an engineering company and made various parts for ships, as a matter of fact, for naval ships. He, of course, employed his brother and brothers and brother-in-law. This is the American story. People seeking freedom, seeking a better future for themselves, coming here as innovators and pioneers. When I watch Washington, I don't think they get that. I think they think that a government trying to guide the economy, telling which business, which one's going to get government money, who's going to get a special break and who's not. They think that's going to make America stronger. They're wrong. That's making us weaker. I want to get those guys out. I want to return the people back to power in America. Experience, the passion of the people of the Olympic Games continues to inspire me. I see in the American people not only that innovativeness I described and that passion for freedom, but also a love of country. And because we're kind of a small group here, and you've had to wait the longest, I just want to tell you one brief story from my Olympic experience. It was at the closing ceremonies. Vice President Dick Cheney asked me to pick one athlete to sit with him at closing ceremonies to represent all of our athletes. I chose a guy named Derek Parra. Derek's about 5'4", Hispanic American, born in Los Angeles, a rollerblader. His friends say to him, if you want to ever compete, in a real sport, you're going to have to try something besides rollerblading. He tries on ice skates, and he's fast. He skates against these big guys from Minnesota and Michigan and Illinois. That's where I came from. I'm not big, but that's where I came from. And he beats them. Skates his heart out, makes the United States speed skating team, comes to the Olympic Games that I was responsible for in 2002, gets himself a silver medal in the 5,000 meters and a gold medal in the 1,500 meters. Fastest man in the world on ice. Absolutely extraordinary. Hispanic American. So I choose him to sit with the Vice President. He's coming into the Vice President's box. And I say, Derek, what was the most meaningful part of your Olympics? It wasn't the silver medal. And it wasn't the gold medal. He said it was being honored to carry in the American flag that had flown above the World Trade Center on September 11, 2001. He said that he expected that when it was announced to come into the stadium, that the crowd would burst into cheers, but instead, total silence, complete reverence. He was one of 8 athletes chosen by his peers to carry in the flag. You carry it in horizontally, can't put it on a flagpole, it's badly torn and burned. It's about 8 feet by 12 feet. He said, we carried it in, stopped in front of the choir, and they began performing the national anthem. And he said it was hard to hold on to that flag and to hear those words without tears welling in your eyes. And then he said the choir did something he hadn't expected. Now, I knew it was coming because I chose the version of the national anthem they sang. And in the version I chose, by Robert Shaw, a composer from the 1930s, you repeat the last line. And the sopranos go up an octave. Much greater orchestration. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave? And he said, this time as they sang it, a gust of wind blew in the flag and lifted it in our hands. And he said, for me, it was as if the spirits of all those that had fought and died for American liberty had just blown in that flag. And tears began running down my face. We're patriotic people. We love America. We have an innovative, creative spirit in this nation. We also have a love of country in this nation. I want to draw on that patriotism, the passion for freedom, the the innovative character of our people and restore the greatness that is America and assure that it's there for our kids and our grandkids. With your help, and I need you to go out and vote, all right, this Saturday, tomorrow. If you don't know where your caucus is, most of you never caucused before. You can go to Romney, WA, all right, the WA, I think you know what that stands for, right? RomneyWA.com. It'll tell you where the nearest caucus place is. Go in and vote, because I guarantee you I'm going to do everything in my power to keep America as it has always been, the shining city on the hill. Thank you so much.